The concept of Project Bluebeam has been a subject of intrigue for decades, first gaining attention in the 1990s when an investigator outlined what he believed to be a large-scale plan by those in control to create a staged deception. According to his research, the purpose of this deception would be to unite humanity under a single global government by presenting a false crisis or orchestrated event. Over the years, the idea has been revisited and expanded upon by researchers and whistleblowers, and today it is being discussed once again by figures such as Dr. Stephen Greer and former FBI Special Agent John DeSouza. Both Greer and DeSouza have warned that Project Bluebeam may be entering its early phases. They suggest that advanced technologies could be used to create realistic aerial phenomena, holographic displays, or other manipulations designed to confuse or guide public perception. In their view, the goal would be to manufacture unity and compliance by convincing humanity of a reality that is not genuine.
Holographic projection capabilities, directed energy technologies, I'll get into that in a moment, induced auditory input. These are the neurophones I mentioned that Werner von Braun said the most dangerous thing is the neurophone non-local things that can be done to make people think they're having an experience when they're not. Input experimental aircraft, well, that's just a euphemism for man-made UFOs, and special effects costuming and stagecraft.
What I'm here to tell people is that when Project Bluebeam is used, again, it's not going to be by the United States. It's not going to be by national, it's going to be by global government. They're the ones who are going to use this stuff. And it's going to be not just a bunch of pretty holograms. They're going to be using it for religious figures. They're going to have Jesus in the sky, but it's not just going to be holograms. There's going to be voice-to-skull technology. It's also going to be used. They're going to be able to have these figures speak to every human being on the planet. Imagine the impact of that they're going to be able to see the figure and also hear the figure talking to them. You know, it's amazing. I think that is the particular reason why Jesus said in the Bible, my sheep hear my voice and they will recognize my voice. And I think that was an anticipation of when this operation goes forward.
The concept known as Project Bluebeam has for years existed as one of the most unsettling and thought-provoking ideas to emerge in discussions of advanced technology and global control. At its core, the project is described as a multi-phase plan designed to reshape human society by breaking down long-standing beliefs, reorienting the world toward a unified vision, and establishing a single world order. The framework for this event is not speculation alone, but one that researchers have long discussed as a coordinated effort to fundamentally change how humanity views history, religion, and the cosmos itself. The first step of the plan is said to involve the rewriting of human history. This would be achieved through staged discoveries and orchestrated archaeological revelations that challenge the very foundations of faith. Artifacts could be uncovered, documents revealed, or ancient structures reinterpreted in such a way that the origins of religion are called into question. The intention behind this would be to destabilize belief systems by suggesting that what people have followed for centuries is not as it appeared. By shaking the confidence of entire populations in their inherited traditions, a pathway is created for them to be more open to new interpretations and new authorities. The second phase would be unlike anything the world has ever seen. It would involve the skies lighting up with massive holograms that stretch across entire nations. These displays would not be limited to a single image or figure, but would be tailored to the culture of each region. In the West, people might see Jesus projected in brilliant light across the clouds. In the East, perhaps the figure of Buddha would appear. In the Middle East, it could be Allah. The aim would be to ensure that each culture sees their revered figure at the same time, making the event global in scope, yet deeply personal in impact. This use of advanced holographic technology would be so overwhelming and convincing that millions, even billions, would interpret it as the arrival of their God. The psychological element of the plan would then begin. Voices would be projected directly into the minds of people through advanced methods referred to as voice-to-skull technology. Individuals would hear what they believed to be the voice of their deity speaking to them by name, offering guidance, reassurance, and ultimately, commands. The impact of such an event would be indescribable. Billions of people simultaneously hearing divine voices tailored to their faith would create a wave of belief unlike anything seen before. The power of such an experience would bypass rational thought, striking directly at the most intimate and sacred levels of human identity. The purpose of these phases would be to guide humanity toward the acceptance of a single figure, one who would present themselves as the savior of all. This figure would unite religions, dissolve the divisions between cultures, and offer the promise of peace under a new world order. By convincing people that their God had come and that this new leader was the manifestation of that divinity, the project would achieve its goal: the consolidation of global power under a single authority, one that transcends traditional governments and borders. Some versions of this event go even further, suggesting that the final revelation may not be religious at all, but extraterrestrial. In this scenario, instead of a savior figure tied to specific cultural faiths, the projection would take the form of an advanced being, or spacecraft. This entity would announce itself as a representative of a higher civilization, explaining to humanity that we are not alone in the universe and that we have been watched and guided for centuries. The disclosure of this truth, combined with the visual spectacle in the skies, would lead billions to abandon their former religious beliefs in favor of a new universal doctrine. The extraterrestrial beings would then be perceived as the true architects of human faith, with their presence uniting the world under a single shared belief. Such a revelation would change the course of human history forever. Wars fought over religion would lose their meaning. National divisions based on ideology would fade. Humanity would find itself bound together by the belief that a single truth had finally been revealed, a truth that was not fragmented into multiple traditions but unified in a cosmic origin. The psychological impact would be profound, as individuals would feel both small in the face of the vast universe and significant as part of a greater plan that had been hidden until now. The strength of this strategy lies in its layering. The rewriting of history weakens the foundation of faith. The holograms in the skies captivate the senses and overwhelm rational thought. The voices projected into the mind make the experience personal and intimate, removing any doubt. Finally, the arrival of a savior or extraterrestrial presence seals the transformation by offering a new belief system to replace the old. Each phase builds upon the last, guiding humanity toward acceptance step by step. Those who study the idea of Project Bluebeam warn that its execution would be so advanced and overwhelming that resistance would be nearly impossible. The technology required, from holographic projection to psychological manipulation, already exists in rudimentary forms and has been demonstrated in various capacities. When combined on a global scale with the coordination of powerful institutions, the result would be a spectacle so convincing that billions would accept it without question. The implications of such an event are staggering. Humanity would find itself under the guidance of a new order, one that claims divine or extraterrestrial authority. The freedom to believe differently would be lost, as all faiths and nations would be absorbed into the narrative of the new revelation. For some, this vision of unity is appealing, as it promises peace, an end to conflict, and a sense of belonging to a greater whole. For others, it is a warning of manipulation, a plan to use the deepest human emotions to control and reshape society. What remains clear is that the blueprint of Project Bluebeam, with its carefully staged phases, represents one of the most ambitious and unsettling plans ever discussed. Whether viewed as prophecy, strategy, or warning, it challenges humanity to consider how fragile perception truly is and how easily reality could be reshaped through the combination of advanced technology and psychological influence. The thought of skies filled with holographic deities, voices whispering directly into the minds of billions, and the sudden appearance of an extraterrestrial savior is more than just speculation. For those who believe in the reality of Project Bluebeam, it is a roadmap to the future, one that has already been set in motion. The promise of unity under one God or one extraterrestrial being may appear noble on the surface, but at its core lies a reordering of human existence, orchestrated not by divine intervention, but by human hands wielding unimaginable power. A recently leaked photograph of a silver orb-shaped UFO, allegedly taken at a military base, is being shared on various UFO-related subreddits. The image, which appears to show a metallic, spherical object hovering in mid-air, has drawn comparisons to other high-profile UFO sightings, particularly the mysterious silver orb seen above Manchester Airport and the UFO orb drones that have repeatedly been reported over New Jersey. The striking similarity between these sightings raises compelling questions. Are these objects part of the same phenomenon? Are they advanced surveillance drones, experimental military craft, or something else entirely? As more alleged UFO photos and videos surface online, the growing number of credible sightings suggests that these phenomena are not mere hoaxes or misidentifications. With increasing attention from military insiders, government officials, and the public, the silver orb UFO could be part of a larger global pattern, one that may finally push the limits of what we understand about unidentified aerial phenomena. The recently leaked UFO image reportedly comes from an unnamed individual working at a classified military installation. According to online sources, whistleblowers have come forward in recent years and claimed that these objects have the ability to hover motionlessly over restricted areas for several minutes before vanishing at incredible speeds. The photo, which surfaced on Reddit's UFO subreddits, shows a featureless metallic sphere, reflecting its surroundings with an almost mirror-like finish. Unlike conventional drones, this object appears to lack visible propulsion systems, wings, or rotors, suggesting technology far beyond publicly known capabilities. UFO researchers analyzing the photo have noted that the orb's reflective surface could indicate an advanced material designed for stealth or energy absorption, potentially explaining why many of these objects evade radar detection. Government agencies have yet to confirm or deny the authenticity of the photo, but the striking resemblance to other documented UFO orbs has fueled speculation that these objects are part of a broader, interconnected mystery. This latest sighting closely mirrors the UFO incident above Manchester Airport, which took place earlier this year. In that case, multiple eyewitnesses, including airline pilots and air traffic controllers, reported seeing a metallic, spherical object hovering near the airport's airspace. The UFO was reportedly detected on radar briefly before it disappeared at high velocity, leaving no physical trace behind. The Manchester UFO video, taken by a bystander near the airport, showed a shimmering silver orb reflecting sunlight as it hovered with unnatural stillness before darting away in a split second. Aviation authorities dismissed the sighting as a possible weather balloon or drone, but many experts argued that the object's flight characteristics defied conventional explanations. The fact that both the leaked military base UFO photo and the Manchester Airport UFO share an identical orb shape, metallic appearance, and silent flight suggests they could be the same type of craft or drone. Given their proximity to restricted or high-security areas, some theorists speculate they may be engaging in surveillance or reconnaissance operations, either by a foreign entity, a secret government program, or a non-human intelligence. Adding to the intrigue, the orb UFOs seen over New Jersey share many of the same characteristics. Over the past year, residents of New Jersey, particularly near military sites, have reported frequent sightings of glowing or metallic spherical objects hovering in the sky. Unlike conventional drones, these orbs move erratically, often performing high-speed maneuvers, instantaneous stops, and disappearing without a sound. Some videos captured over New Jersey show the objects pulsing with a faint glow, raising theories that they might be using an unknown propulsion or cloaking technology. Reports indicate that fighter jets have occasionally been scrambled to intercept these objects, only for them to evade capture effortlessly. With 3 separate cases, at a military base, over Manchester Airport, and in New Jersey, showing eerily similar objects, many are questioning whether these UFOs represent a single phenomenon appearing in different locations. The growing number of silver orb sightings has led to various theories attempting to explain their origins. Some believe these orbs could be experimental surveillance drones developed by military organizations, using next-generation propulsion and stealth technology. The fact that these objects frequently appear near military bases and airports supports the idea that they could be involved in covert reconnaissance or intelligence gathering. Another possibility is that these objects belong to foreign adversaries, such as Russia or China, who may have developed highly advanced drone technology capable of defying conventional aerodynamics. However, multiple military insiders have dismissed this theory, stating that no known country possesses such capabilities. Many UFO researchers argue that the characteristics of these orbs, silent operation, incredible speed, lack of propulsion, and sudden disappearances, suggest non-human origins. If these objects are indeed extraterrestrial in nature, they could be autonomous probes designed for observation and data collection, rather than direct interaction with humans. A more speculative theory suggests that these orbs might not be traditional spacecraft at all, but rather objects that phase in and out of our reality. And this is backed up by videos that appear to show them vanishing and then showing up in a different part of the sky. This could explain their sudden appearances and disappearances, as well as their ability to avoid conventional detection methods. The recurring presence of silver orb UFOs in multiple locations around the world suggests that we are witnessing a phenomenon that cannot be ignored or dismissed as isolated events. Whether these objects are part of a top-secret military project, foreign technology, or evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence, their repeated appearances indicate a larger pattern that demands serious investigation. If the leaked military base photo is authentic, it could serve as one of the most compelling pieces of evidence yet that governments are aware of these objects, but have not fully disclosed their findings. The fact that similar UFOs have been seen in high-security areas adds weight to the theory that they may be gathering intelligence or interacting with human infrastructure in ways we do not yet understand. The leaked photo of the silver orb UFO, along with similar sightings above Manchester Airport and New Jersey, represents a growing mystery that challenges our current understanding of aerial phenomena. The internet has been flooded with an unprecedented number of UFO images and videos in recent months, with some appearing to show genuine unidentified aerial phenomena, while others have been dismissed as hoaxes or digitally altered content. This sudden wave of material has sparked heated debate within the UFO research community, as experts and enthusiasts try to separate real evidence from deliberate deception. While many believe that some of these newly released UFO images are legitimate leaks, others have begun to suspect that disinformation agents may be deliberately muddying the waters to create confusion and cast doubt on the authenticity of real UFO encounters. If true, this could mean that a strategic disinformation campaign is underway, one designed to discredit genuine whistleblower leaks and obscure the truth about non-human intelligence. However, there is another school of thought emerging among UFO researchers. Some believe that this rise in disinformation actually signals something important. If officials feel the need to counteract or suppress recent leaks, it could be a strong indicator that these disclosures are hitting too close to the truth. If there was nothing to cover up, then why go through the trouble of launching a campaign to confuse and discredit the UFO phenomenon? Disinformation is nothing new when it comes to government secrecy and classified projects, and many UFO researchers have long suspected that officials have actively spread false stories to distort the truth. The goal of such disinformation efforts would be to create uncertainty, prevent serious investigation, and keep the public skeptical about the reality of UFOs and non-human intelligence. This strategy has been used before. In the past, former intelligence officials and government insiders have admitted that classified projects and real UFO encounters have been deliberately mixed with false information, making it difficult to determine what is real and what is fabricated. By inserting fake UFO sightings, altered images, and misleading narratives into the discussion, disinformation agents can make the entire topic seem less credible. This tactic also serves to discredit legitimate whistleblowers. If a whistleblower comes forward with real classified UFO evidence, but the internet is already flooded with doctored images, fake leaks, and AI-generated UFO footage, then the public and the media may dismiss all of it as a hoax. This makes it harder for real information to gain traction, protecting the secrecy surrounding actual government UFO retrieval programs and classified research. Some researchers believe that this is exactly what is happening right now. With the recent leaks of egg-shaped UFO images, alleged crash retrievals, and increasing whistleblower testimonies, it appears that certain groups may be working to dilute the credibility of these revelations by flooding the internet with misinformation. If the public becomes too skeptical, then the demand for official UFO disclosure could fade away, allowing secrecy to continue. Some UFO researchers believe that the sudden surge of questionable UFO images is not random, but part of a coordinated effort. The idea is that as real whistleblowers release genuine UFO evidence, an opposing force works just as quickly to bury it under an avalanche of fabricated material. Many suspect that intelligence agencies or private contractors tied to classified UFO research programs could be responsible for this wave of disinformation. These groups have a vested interest in keeping the truth hidden, as exposing non-human technology and secret retrieval programs could threaten national security and disrupt military superiority. If the truth about advanced propulsion systems or extraterrestrial encounters were to be fully disclosed, it could mean major changes to global power structures, technological industries, and even the way humanity views its place in the universe. This theory is further supported by the fact that UFO researchers and whistleblowers have often been targeted in the past. Many individuals who have come forward with credible information have reported being harassed, discredited, or having their careers ruined. If those in power feel threatened enough to launch a campaign of misinformation, it could actually be a sign that UFO disclosures are progressing faster than ever before. Despite the concerns surrounding disinformation efforts, some UFO researchers argue that this is actually a good sign. If those in charge of suppressing UFO evidence are scrambling to distort public perception, it could indicate that genuine leaks are becoming impossible to control. In October 2017, a mysterious post appeared on the Facebook page Art Bell's Midnight in the Desert, featuring Heather Wade, sparking intrigue among UFO enthusiasts. The post showcased a photograph taken in daylight featuring an unidentified flying object in the desert with a helicopter hovering above it. Accompanying the image was a cryptic caption: "I've had these photos for 10 years, and it's time to share them." They were taken in July 2007 during a radar test at our field in the Mojave Desert. I've always hesitated to show them, but here they are now. The post, which vanished shortly afterward, marked the beginning of a compelling saga involving UFO researcher Philip Mantle and Keith Bradshaw, the man behind the images. The images immediately caught the attention of Philip Mantle, a veteran UFO investigator known for his meticulous research. Mantle's curiosity was piqued by the clarity and apparent authenticity of the photograph. He reached out to Keith Bradshaw through a private Facebook message, seeking more information about the post and its origins. By the time Mantle checked the post again the next day, it had been deleted. However, Keith responded to Mantle's inquiry, explaining his hesitation to share the photos due to the circumstances under which they were taken. Keith admitted that the photographs were captured illegally and expressed regret for posting one publicly. Despite his initial reluctance, Keith began corresponding with Mantle, sharing more about the story behind the images. He revealed that the photographs had been taken at China Lake, California, a remote location known for its US Navy base and classified testing grounds. The incident occurred on a hot July morning in 2007, around 11:30 in the morning. As Keith and Mantle exchanged messages, more details about the photographs emerged. Keith explained that he was present at China Lake during a radar test and happened to witness the scene by chance. He described seeing a UFO, metallic in appearance, hovering silently in the air. The object exhibited unusual stability and lacked visible propulsion systems, distinguishing it from conventional aircraft. Adding to the mystery was the presence of a helicopter above the UFO. Keith noted that the helicopter appeared to be observing the craft, though it did not seem to interfere with it. The juxtaposition of the two objects, a cutting-edge terrestrial vehicle and a seemingly otherworldly craft, was both striking and enigmatic. Keith seized the opportunity to capture photographs of the scene, but he was aware that doing so violated strict regulations regarding photography in the area. Keith shared 5 photographs with Mantle, each providing a slightly different perspective of the UFO and the helicopter. The images were clear and detailed, offering a rare glimpse of what appeared to be an extraordinary encounter. Mantle, recognizing the potential significance of the material, sought to document the story while respecting Keith's privacy and legal concerns. The choice of location adds another layer of intrigue to the story. China Lake, California is home to the Naval Air Weapons Station, a sprawling military installation that serves as a hub for weapons research, testing, and development. The base is shrouded in secrecy, with limited public access and ongoing classified operations. This makes it a prime location for sightings of unusual aerial phenomena, whether advanced military prototypes or unexplained UFOs. Given the context, it is plausible that the object Keith photographed could have been part of a classified military project. The US military has a history of testing cutting-edge aviation technologies, and many UFO sightings near restricted areas are later attributed to experimental aircraft. However, the distinctive features of the craft in Keith's photographs, its lack of visible propulsion and silent operation, set it apart from known technologies, fueling speculation about its origins. After the images were shared, they quickly gained traction within the UFO community. Philip Mantle's involvement brought a level of professionalism to the investigation. As an experienced UFO researcher, he approached the case with a critical yet open mind, documenting Keith's story and analyzing the photographs with care. Mantle also sought expert opinions to determine whether the images showed signs of manipulation, further bolstering their credibility. While definitive conclusions about the China Lake photographs remain elusive, the incident serves as a powerful reminder of the mysteries surrounding UFO sightings. The combination of a restricted military setting, high-quality images, and a credible witness account makes this case one of the more intriguing entries in the annals of UFO research. The photographs shared by Keith Bradshaw have sparked widespread discussion among enthusiasts and researchers, particularly due to their striking similarities to other recent UFO sightings. As unidentified aerial phenomena continue to capture public attention, comparisons between the China Lake images and contemporary reports highlight patterns and consistencies that deepen the mystery surrounding these encounters. From tic-tac-shaped craft to glowing orbs, the visual and behavioral similarities raise questions about whether these incidents are connected and what they might reveal about the origins of these unexplained phenomena. In recent years, public interest in UFOs has surged, spurred by high-profile releases of declassified government reports and videos. The Pentagon's acknowledgement of UAPs, including the infamous Tic Tac video from 2000 NAD4, has added legitimacy to the field of UFO research, encouraging more people to share their own sightings. Keith Bradshaw's photos depict a metallic, saucer-shaped craft that appears to hover effortlessly above the desert, with no visible means of propulsion. This description resonates with eyewitness accounts of UFOs observed in various locations around the world. The similarities have led many to wonder if the object at China Lake is part of a broader phenomenon, one that spans decades and defies conventional explanations. One of the most striking comparisons is between the China Lake UFO and the Tic Tac craft observed by US Navy pilots during a 2004 training exercise off the coast of California. The Tic Tac, so named for its elongated cylindrical shape, exhibited extraordinary capabilities, including hypersonic speeds, abrupt directional changes, and the ability to hover motionlessly. While the China Lake object appears more disc-shaped than cylindrical, it shares several key features, such as its apparent lack of traditional propulsion systems and its silent operation. Both cases also involve military settings, China Lake being a classified testing ground, and the Tic Tac incident occurring during a Navy operation. This overlap has fueled speculation that these objects could be advanced experimental technologies developed in secret. Another comparison frequently made is between the China Lake photos and sightings of glowing orb-like UFOs, which have become increasingly common in recent years.